bitches. What's up? Wake up. It's morning time.
What is up? What is up, everybody? How are we doing today? It is not Monday, but it sure does feel like a Monday in my brain. Um, but yeah, it's took see, I keep saying I took the day off, but I didn't take the day off yesterday. I just stayed home and worked from home. Um, so I don't know what the proper phrase of that is. Being someone who typically goes to work, I think that's kind of like the weird gap for me on this one. So, man, StreamYard guys, we're so behind. StreamYard is tanking right now. It is doing everything in its power to tell us to get the F off the platform and go somewhere else. So, even though there's like literally no audience right now, if anyone's listening to this, if anyone is in the back end listening later, please can you DM us? I know we're bad. We're just a couple. Whatever. I don't even know what to do. I can see that there's just no audience. When I pop up the show in the morning, it goes Twitter's not working right now with StreamYard. So it's just like this funny nonsense. Good morning. There's my reminder that MP has shouted out a million times from the rooftops. Join Blaze, it's better. Come on, bud. And then that's exactly what happened in my mind. I was like reaching out to people, or I was like throwing out the like, hey, we need some help. And then I was like, oh yeah, MP and his brother already offered to help. But then you, Dominic, didn't follow up in typical true Dominic fashion. But yeah, we're dying here, guys. We're dying, and I don't know if I have it in me to figure it out. The man, the myth, the legend, Ryan Turner was the guy who did all this, and you know whatever's going on with him, I don't think I can pull him in here to help us refocus. So he's got a lot going on right now. So sending my love to Ryan and my appreciation as I try to figure out what my life would be like if I just didn't lock in and figure this thing out. X has been weird restreaming things recently. There is a back end way to get to get into the video. Yeah, I don't even, dude. This is the part that makes me feel old, and I'm totally fine with it because I'm 100% ready to just be considered old and feel like I'm old. But like technology is just maddening to me these days. So I don't even know. I don't even know if I'd want to go down it and figure it out and fix it as far as getting it on there. I set Brofit up last night on Blaze. Just need to add a URL and the stream key, and you are golden. MP tomorrow, Friday. Let's try to work this out tomorrow, okay? If you're available, let's try to do that, dude. It is on my list of goals to take over this weekend and like finally put this thing to bed. Morning, Chels. How you doing? So it is on my list to call Mr. Turner and then other Mr. Turner and just kind of talk this thing out and figure it all out. But yeah, this is just this whole StreamYard thing is just been a nightmare the last couple of weeks and months. And it's driving me nuts. Good morning, Dylan. Look, here comes the people. Uh Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining. Like I said, felt like a Monday because I took the day off and worked from home yesterday. Brooklyn had a band concert. My wife had like double booked some appointments around it. We had a sick kid at home. Brooklyn was sick. The fam is getting sick. I know you all feel that. I know MP's family's been sick, a couple more have been sick, so it's just that time of year. But at least, at least this happened. Ron Jordan came in and he's doing outstanding, which that's all I needed to know. I love Ron Jordan and his Holy Toledo and his vibe and his energy excites me. I don't often get to pop into his streams or interact with him, but when I do, you just like feel it. Like all the flashing lights and colors behind him, the fact that he's like a grown man who is also a badass like MMA fighter, he's fit and the dude's like an electrician, but then he plays with little micro machines and minis on a treadmill. Just blows my mind. Just blows my mind. Love that guy. Yeah, and TCG legend, all those things. I mean, the guy's unstoppable. Morning puppies and kittens. Exchange now live video are viewed on mobile. More of a TikTok, Instagram. Gotcha. Bummer. Okay. I have issue. I mean, come on. We all got issues. But I like to assume the best. Title of the show. Did you guys catch that? Um, yeah, it's been like I'll go back to something I've said a lot on here, but it's been one of the joys of the one of the greatest joys for sure that I know I have and a lot of us have of entering into this View Friends community and the way everybody shares and how interesting people are. It's just somehow, some way, it's taken the awkwardness out of it. I know there's a couple of people, I think me, Chels, I think you're one of them. MP, I know you're one of them too. Anne is one of them too as well, where it's like kind of like awkward in person, but somehow like whatever it is, the vibe of the community, the way Gary set it up has made it much easier for us all to kind of put ourselves out there and realize that like we're all awkward, we all have issues, we're all nerds, we're all this, we're all that, but like we also can root for each other, appreciate each other, love each other, support each other. And then that energy just kind of it's like a snowball going downhill. It's amazing. So I love it. I love it. The ones with issues gather here. And we can also still be flies on the walls, 100%, Dylan. The VF energy is so inviting to you to be you, you know? Yep, that's what I'm saying. Well done. We did it. We all give really good hugs too for some reason. Yeah. Well, I mean, I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that we put that extra we put out all those layers and we kind of, feel deeper connection or whatever towards each other. And so those hugs just come with a lot more energy. Um, yeah, it's and I think like what Ron's saying is like it creates more like you want to create more for yourself. You want to put yourself more out there. The more you do it, the more people react, the more you react to other people reacting. Like it's just and that's how we get into these little um Twitter times of like where you're like, oh, I just spent 4 hours like freaking scrolling and talking to people and chatting this way or not. I know I look around and say, this is how people see me when I look at when I look at you. Jeremy knows Hug is the alpha. Yep. Yeah. Jeremy's good dude. Miss seeing Jeremy all the time. I don't know. That he's somewhere, right? I'm not paying as much attention, so I think that's it's more me than it is him. But yeah, sorry. Yeah, so true. True, true, true. Hugs are the alpha. Being here's the alpha. Putting yourself out here is by me now in Cleveland. Yep. Um, Ohio based. I just haven't reached out to him in a while or seen him on streams. Like I've been in and out of the stream. So normally I'll send him a DM, check in with him. He and I have exchanged some little like video messages. super cool. Uh, I've always felt I've always felt seen and heard by Jeremy, and that's been one of the greatest things but for him. And I know a lot of people say that as well and sort of think that like, oh, it's not just me. He does it with everyone else. Like there's a little bit of like, oh yeah, I'm not like but then at the same time, the way he does it, it does make you feel very much like you're the only one, but you're important to him that have taken a minute to do that. And he's just a guy, so not a celebrity, but he just feels like it sometimes. So yeah, cool. We're all over the place right now, which is fine. So I don't know where Jason is. Didn't even get a message from him, so I assume he's just sleeping in today. Um, but that's cool. We're here. Today's Thursday. Back at work. Spent the day at home yesterday. Did a whole bunch of stuff. Brooklyn, she rocked it on her flute session. Oh, I'm gonna talk about band. I don't know if your kids are in band. If they are, it's super cool. I think it's wonderful. I wanted to do band, and I stopped after one semester because we couldn't afford a saxophone or something like that. Uh, then the band. I'm gonna call him a teacher. I think he's called something different, but he recommended this place out on the East Coast somewhere. Well, that did not come out right. Where you can rent to own instruments. So if anyone's thinking about like my kid wants to be in band and instruments are expensive, like Brooklyn's flute was like 750 bucks. Which is not incredibly expensive, but at the same time, like when it's something where the kid has to have the instrument to do the band, but you're like, okay, well, the last time I bought my kid, soccer cleats and they did it one season, and yeah, that was only, 50 bucks for soccer cleats, but am I really going to drop 750 on an instrument? And then how am I going to feel next year when they don't want to do band anymore? So I think he outlined it pretty well. This company does rent to own with no interest and no fees if you return it. So it's like basically like set up the best way possible for you as a parent to try this out. Like you could just mail it right back and they'll just end your, contract at whatever it is that you paid. It's 25 bucks a month. Um, but she stuck with it. We just got it paid off, and it was great. It was like a set it and forget it thing. In fact, I called the lady and I'm like, "When is this done? You guys made it so easy. I didn't even know what's going on." And she's like, "You just actually finished your last point payment, and then you can change instruments, like David said. You can switch, um, and you can upgrade. You can do all that stuff. It was a very very amazing." Uh, Company that I am totally blanking right now on the name, so I'm shouting them out, but then I have no way to send any of you that may be interested the referral. Ugh, I don't know what it's called. Um, it is a good idea. So if that's something but anyways, her concert, like seeing her, the way that she interacts with the band, how she has fun with her bandmates, how her teacher is incredibly well versed and knowledgeable in music and everything like that. He's very strict, but also very fun. So tickle me, Dom. Okay. All right, David. Um, So it's been an amazing thing for Brooklyn, and I've really loved that for her. Uh, I think it's one of the things that throughout all the middle school ups and downs, it's been a one really good constant for her. IQ Instrument Rentals is who our school uses. Nice, 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 nice. Okay, so I didn't know that as a kid. I never thought that was a thing, but this teacher recommended it, and it's been great. I would 100% recommend them. The website is like 1,000 USA band or something like that. I don't know. I tried to put that in, earlier and it didn't come up, so that's why I was like, "That's not it." So I don't want to get the reference, but Taylor Music. I just figured it out. Taylor Music is the company. It's 1-800 USA Band. Ha ha. We got it. I knew we'd get there eventually. Um, yeah, better than Tickle Me Elmo, I guess. I don't know where you're coming from, David. Where are you going? Did I say something about tickling or Elmo or Sesame Street? I want to play viola. So anyways, that was a good day yesterday. My little man, since he was homesick, he came with me and he was getting a little, little guy stuck in a chair for over an hour, movie, wanted to just shake up and run around the whole stadium or the whole auditorium. So that was a little bit whatever, but tickling the flutes is turning into an After Dark episode. Is that what he was talking about? Okay, all right. I gotta tickle the keys. Okay, all right. We'll land that plane right there. Um, Thank you, MP, for clarifying that. You're a gentleman and a scholar. So yeah, that was a little, like like I was telling my wife afterwards, like my daughter was the third performing school. So the first school, Bentley was like a little antsy, but he got a snack and he was kind of chill. The second school, he like laid down and was like, I'm gonna fall asleep. And then the third school, which was Brooklyn's, he like amped up and just wanted to like fight with his sister and push me around and stuff like that. And I'm just like, dude, this is the time when I need you to lock in so I can, watch Brooklyn and video it for mom because mom had an appointment and da 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 da, blah 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 blah. All right, but God, why am I wish this was quicker.
Don't do
I have
the
to.
reading.
That's right, Dee Dee. I have to do the reading. So today's reading in the Daily Dad. Look, guys, we haven't done this in a long time. But this is the book. This is why we're here. I sometimes forget to like shout this out and let everybody know that like doing the reading, the title, I'm not getting this angle right. The title, everything like that is based on this book. Okay. Ryan Holiday, The Daily Dad. If you don't have it, get it. I would love to say that I would send it to you. And if I had the funds for that, I would just buy. I thought about it when it came out because he had the whole like, if you buy 100 of them, get a dinner date with Ryan. It's like, oh, that'd be kind of cool. Mine's blue because it's blue. No, it was a exclusive edition when they introduced that you could go if you went specifically to Barnes and Noble, either to the store or online. You could get the blue version, and then everywhere else, and for the rest of time, will be selling the red version. So the blue version was only so many of them at Barnes and Noble, so I got that one. I actually got like 4 of them and gave them out to friends. I should check in with those friends and see if they still want them because maybe they're like collector's editions now and just, flip them on the bay, which I never do. Good morning, card fishing. How you doing? Anyways, the reading today, the February 19th. It's my dad's birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday in advance in case I ever forget. And you don't watch the show, so that doesn't matter. Assume the best. Okay. So this kind of goes off to uh when you're in the heat of the moment, when your kids are doing something that they're not supposed to do, or that you have already told them not to do, the book kind of reads like, why are we why are we assuming the worst? Like, why are we saying, oh my God, my kid's so bad, like he's such a bad kid, as opposed to assuming the best. You've known them your entire life. You've seen everything that they've done and how much they've grown. You've seen all the kind moments, the sweet moments, the cuddles, the holding hands, the supporting their siblings, the coming to give you a hug when maybe you were having a bad day. But in those heated moments, we we kind of go, "Yep, always pimping Ryan Holiday." It's my favorite author, one of the biggest catalysts to all the changes that I've been making lately. led me to the V Friends community, which led me to this show. The whole reason I do this show was a lot of like the small little things that Ryan practices and preaches, like with his own show. Um, so yeah, I love Ryan Holiday for sure. Um, back to my so assume the best. So you all these things, and then you kind of get in that heated moment, and you start to talk a little. You start to get a little frustrated. Your blood starts to boil. I mean, it is what it is, right? But we want to try to start assuming the best and thinking a little bit like finding a way to take a pause. And that's probably the hardest part is finding a way to break yourself out of that blood boiling, like heated, like I want to yell, I want to get whatever, and stop, take a breath, and realize like where you are, what you're about to do. The fact that while unleashing anger in the moment feels good or right because it's bubbling, it's got to get out, it's got to burst. It's never going to be, minute later, 2 minutes later, 20 minutes later, an hour later, a day later. It's not gonna go over well. You're not gonna be happy that you did it. You're most likely gonna regret it, especially if it involves blowing up at those 2 to 5 people that you love the most in the world. And then the reading does add a very important line at the end, which is, "Oh yeah, remember this can all be said about your spouse too." So that's adding in there. It's not just your kids, but your spouse as well. I think it has a lot to do with wanting them to succeed and almost projecting our own feelings. Like, why didn't my kid hold the door? I can't believe they wouldn't do that, but maybe you didn't explain the why and the reason. Yep, yep, agree. Um, there is a lot of that in our mind that we see a situation and we're like, man, why didn't they do that? Why couldn't they have done that? Like, oh, thought I raised them differently, or why don't they just understand that? Like, do they not see me doing that? Like for me, and I come back to this all the time because it's just like a big thing in my house is like food and dishes, and it's the easiest thing, right? It's the thing we do supposedly 3 times a day. With my kids with the snacking, it's more like 150 times a day. But it's like I'm a very much like I make my food, I clean my mess, and I eat my food, and then I clean that mess too. But a lot of times my kids, they just leave shit all around the house. And the running joke, I think there was a really cool viral video that went around where it was like the husband was like, "No, honey, let me tell you the secret. If I put my dishes on this magical table, the next day, they are gone and clean and back in the cupboard. It's magic." And I think that's how my kids, view life as well. So, right? They are great. I love that video. I've watched it a couple of times. And just the wife's like face is like obviously the um scroll back up a little bit. That's what I got from today's reading. Good stuff. Gotta have a good pressure relief valve. There you go. Look at this guy. This it's like the plumber electrician extraordinaire here. Always bring construction into it. The pipes burst. Yeah, you got to have an outlet. But I think it's the important factor there is your outlet needs to be um not private, but like your outlet can't be on your kids or on your wife or anything like that. Go punch a punching bag, go work out, go draw, go color, go listen to some scream music, go drive 150 miles per hour on the freeway. No, don't do that. Um, you know, I don't know, go stream late at night and rip cards and yell at people while drinking Basil Hayden. I don't know who does that either. My reactions are solely based on my stress level. I know this is tough. It's managing that stress. And sometimes you don't even realize that it's happening, right? Like the little tiny nicks that happen all day long. And then by the end of the day, your stress levels are up high. And then, something simple happens that maybe had it happened in the morning, it would have just been like, "Ah, okay." But at the end of the day, you barely got the energy to suppress the rage monster inside, the little Chels Hulk. Or maybe they're walking while they're on their phone and not being in the moment. Be a good roommate. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of that going on right now in my house. I'm really trying to tiptoe around the screen addiction thing because every time I bring it up in a heavy fashion, I get a lot of pushback from the other family members. And so we're getting there, but it is tough. I listened to um, one of the most recent Diary of a CEO podcasts about screens and short form videos, especially, and it was definitely a eye opener, little scary to think about how far gone my family and kids are. Me as well, but not as much. Yep, yep, yep. Those screws I left on the counter 1.5 years ago, I need tomorrow. Why didn't you? I don't know where that came from. Is that a husband wife thing right there? My Instagram DMs to my ladies are full of those videos to them. Yeah, don't. Oh, the hiding, the secret. What was I saying? The mythical creature that cleans stuff. Do you reference yourself as that person, Ron, in the house, or is it Alyssa? For me, it's both me and Amy. But the other day, I did reference it with dishes in the sink. I was like, it's so weird. The little gnome that comes out at night did not do the dishes last night. She's like, very funny. So then I had to do them. I don't do the night stuff because I'm the first one to sleep. So that's if it doesn't get done by the time I'm ready to go to bed, it's either the gnome that is awake all night, or I'll do it the next morning. Uh, we have set chores. Okay, gotcha. Nice. I had that growing up. Um, I appreciated that. It seemed very well laid out by my mom and easily accomplishable by me and my sister, but I have never been able to instill that into my wife and my family. Dude, have this laundry fairy that comes once a week, still trying to capture her. So I used to have that, but then I dropped a couple of complaints in the message box about the way my laundry is being done, and that was let's see, Bentley didn't exist then, so it was over 7 years ago. My wife has not touched my laundry since then. She's like, "Oh, yeah? You wanna drop a little complaint? You wanna make a little revision to the laundry fairy? You buddy." So she does not do my laundry anymore. It gives you a target daily to check off the list. Yeah, I feel like that's true. I mean, I do that with my routine and my workout and all that other stuff. You just know it's on you, and then if you don't, laundry and the dishes fairy comments. Yeah, never use the complaint box. Yep, yep, folks, it doesn't work. It's not a safe place. Oh man. Do you guys want to know what the complaints were? So I'm very particular about the way that my laundry is done. Um, but what's funny enough, it was a combination between my wife doing it and then also at the time we had a housekeeper, which we don't anymore. And I know my wife misses it because it's just the deep cleaning that she loved. But the housekeeper would do the laundry, and both of them, my wife and the housekeeper, uh, would fold my underwear, and it just I for me, it was like, "Don't fold my underwear." I don't fold my underwear, but it's not about touching them, my boxers. It's not about touching them, it's just a waste. Like, I don't care if my underwear are wrinkly because no one's gonna see them. So, like, don't waste your time folding my underwear. And then I do that to my son's laundry. I just, like, put it all in a bin, and my wife goes right behind me and folds it, that magical fairy. So it's just, and then the other thing I was doing, I was somewhat color coordinating my shirts, and she couldn't understand the system, so she didn't. She kind of gave up after that. I'm Mary Kondo. My I roll them tidy. I see. I roll everything up nice when I go on travel, but as far as uh like weekly like underwear and stuff like that, socks, like I don't put socks together inside out or right side out and fold them in pairs. I just have them like, because I'll just grab two and move on. They're all lefts and rights as far as I'm concerned. I'm not a Jared from Kim's Convenient, if you get that reference. Same. Just it just stuck and so much easier to find. All right, man. I have one set of socks, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, same here. And I like to buy a couple, when I find a pair of socks that I like to buy a couple bags of them so that I have enough. And then most recently, we don't need to get into that. We don't need to get into the sock drama in my household. But most recently, my daughter Brooklyn has stolen my longer socks, and then my wife has stolen my shorter socks, and I am in a sock deficit right now. So I don't know what to do, but that's the struggle. The struggle is real, and the struggle is basic. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for stopping by. I really appreciate it. I do need to. I got shit the other day for mixing up sweatpants. Oh yeah. Well, so I was saying that the other day. So right now my two daughters are basically the same size clothes. And then my wife has also lost a ton of weight, and she's getting really close to their size of clothes too. Where if I hold up like pants, I'm like, who did these belong to? Honestly, the baggier ones belong to my daughters, and the small, skinnier ones belong to my wife. And then my son, he's beasting out like a mofo. And the difference between his shirts and my daughter's crop tops are like this. Like I could just hand his shirt to my daughter, and she's like, "Oh, sweet, a crop top." Yeah, that's what I was just thinking too. I was thinking I just need to rock some bright pink and purple socks, and then that way no one else will want it. Start wearing. Ugh, that would be funny. That would be funny. Um, hmm. Anyways, I was saying I need to slide into the DMs of Mr. Jordan. We need to schedule one of these mornings where Ron comes up and blesses us with his presence. He is one of the few here in the chat that hasn't been on screen with me. And like I said, I was kind of fanboying out on Ron Jordan earlier in the episode. So, Ron, let's pick a day next week, tomorrow, whatever you want, man. You know the time, you know the place. And I think I can still figure out StreamYard by then. The great Ron Jordan, right? Exactly. Um, right on, guys. Well, thank you, everybody. Yeah, Dylan's another one. Dylan's the only other one, but that's because he's driving. So I don't need you on the freeway on the show. You need to a random day off and then jump on here for sure. Um, Today is Thursday. Tomorrow is Friday. We are off tomorrow on MP. We are hanging out. Was the first View Friends podcast I watched. Ron's Roundtable. Nice. Dope. Yeah, Ron is oh sorry. I had to prove that one, but yeah, he appreciates that. Good stuff. Thank you everybody. I'll see you back here tomorrow. Maybe we'll find out the mystery of what's going on with Jason. If he's listening, I hope everything's okay. If your wife is listening, I hope you are recovering well. Um, yeah, I mean, that was rough. So, see you, everybody. Have a great day. I'm off to work. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Music in the background.